Okay, hi guys, welcome back to another review. This one is going to be much sought after. This is the Tin Hifi T5, which I know a lot of people are super excited about. The Tin Hifi, traditionally a very budget friendly earphone manufacturer, super popular among the enthusiast market, and they have this habit now of pre-releasing or releasing the earphones for pre-order, and I think this is the one that's catching everybody's eye just now because it's quite a stark difference away from what Tin usually does in terms of definitely ergonomic design. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the P1 and the P2 aside. They're the planar magnetic driver earphones from Tin. The T5 sits in a different place. I know people are going to think that you go T2, T2 plus, T3, T4, T5, and it's natural progression of, you know, the nomenclature is giving you a step up in performance and stuff like that, and I don't think that that is the case. I think Tin are actually trying to do something else that is quite clever, and that is that brands like, you know, like Campfire Audio, they have earphones at different places, and they're all at different price points. The price points are kind of all over the place, but it's not indicative of the quality of that earphone. You know, you have something like the Vegas are designed to be bass thumping, heavy hitting things, and they're very close in price to the Dorado 2020s, which are very musical and very, you know, an enjoyable, laid back listen. Then you have something like the Solaris 2020, which is very detail rich, open soundstage. They're giving you different flavors, different tunings, so that they can better encompass everybody. It would be rather stupid for them to have put out an earphone like the T2, which is a fantastic, so it's light on bass, but it's like very treble nice. It's something very good for J-pop, K-rock, stuff like that. It would be really stupid for them to move away from that when they've got such a great earphone there. The T4 is more, slightly, I would say it's slightly V-shaped. I would say it's more, yeah, T3. Maybe the T2 Plus is more the balanced one. T3 was a little bit weird. T4, yeah, is more slightly towards the V, but nothing too extreme. This is definitely more bass prominent, and it's definitely treble prominent with a reduced, less clear mid-range on it. But instead of thinking of this as steps up, you know, the higher up the T5, the higher up the number in the T series you get, you're getting more of an earphone. I think it's more they're trying to distinguish it as like the 5 is going to be the bassy one, the 2 is going to be the lighter sounding one, the 3s and the plus are going to be the more neutral sounding one. So you're giving people options within the brand rather than making them go to another brand. So let's get into the unboxing. This box is very vacuum tight, so I'm going to have to do the drop off camera. I say I've got 2 sets of these, and the box is very impressive. I've not put them back correctly, so I'll put them back in so you can see the full presentation. The box is really nice, super high quality cardboard, feels nice, looks great. Nothing much on the back of it. The case, it looks great in the box. There's no denying that's a good looking little case, and I love the way it's sort of recessed. And now it's got this sort of recess so nothing comes out. It's got a nice little magnetic clasp on it. It feels nice, it's well padded, and it's actually solid on the sides. But it's white. That's not going to look white for much longer. So while it makes a statement sitting on the desk or as it's brand new, that's going to look pretty terrible in time. I just know it. Like if you put that in a pocket, like a jean pocket, it's going to pick up the dye of the denim. If you throw it in a bag, it's going to get kind of grubby and stuff like that. So it's a great quality case, and really nice design, and it's not as, you know, off the shelf. It's something a little bit different, but yeah, it's white. I mean, come on. Looks great on the desk, but it's in practice it's not going to be great. Earphones sit in here, and just underneath this there's a little drawer the usual warranty card, user manual that nobody ever uses. You get a little cleaning tool here, the little set of pincers, if I can get these out, little set of tweezers, cleaning tool, and plenty of tips, various sizes and various styles. So that's really, really nice. Now, the earphones themselves tend traditionally go for, in their T series, traditionally go for a barrel style earphone design. And these ones are, these are over the ear monitor style. And it's a very high quality finish to it. It's all metal, metal body, metal nozzle, even the metal, if you can see the little metal grates on it. All metal, fantastic build quality, ergonomically really, really friendly, and it even has this little thumb dimple here, and on top and the side, which gives you a perfect hold, 3-finger hold while you're putting them in your ears. Really, really well made. I love that they've got, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of a 2-pin connector, I prefer an MMCX, but when you're doing a 2-pin connector, I really don't like a flush setting 2-pin connector, because I just think that it's got that potential for, you know, water ingress and stuff like that. So this one has the little recess on it, and as I say, that's something I really like, because when you put in the cable, you get this little hood in here, and it connects straight in, if I can line it up properly, and you can see it sort of disappears in that, and it's not waterproof, but it provides that extra little bit of protection to the earphones. So as you can see, super good looking set there. You're gonna have to excuse my hands, are destroyed from working on the bike the past couple of days. I've got 3 motorbikes now, and I'm trying to sell one of them, so I need to do a lot of the mechanical stuff myself over here. So earphones, really, really nice build quality, very comfortable, all day wearing, no problem. The metal on it stays super cool to the touch. The cable's okay. Tin has some really, really good cables, and if this was a few years ago, I would say this is a great cable as well, but you can see here it retains just a little bit of memory. It's not bad by any means, it's got a nice flow to it, it's nice and lightweight, and it's a dual twist on the bottom, or sorry, a quad twist on the bottom, going into a metal splitter point, and then splits into 2 dual twists at the top. Little metal slider there, and then going up, cable guides on top that naturally form the hook. Metal, the hook on it actually forms part of the strain relief system. Metal 2-pin connectors, all good, and tiny little strain relief there, but a nicely narrow 3.5mm jack connector. Unfortunately in the box you don't get any balanced adapters or anything like that, but at this price I'm not going to be too surprised with this. So let's bring it in so that I can show you a little bit more in depth. Where does this stand? If this is a $100 earphone, you're going up against something like the Tin Hifi P1. You know, you're $20–30 away from the P1, which is what I would consider a true audiophile earphone. But remember, with the P1 that you have to supply it with enough power to get the most out of it. This is, in terms of tuning, as we said, the T2 is very light on bass, very treble prominent. The T2 Plus brings more balance, T4 slightly V, and this is more of a bass head focused, more for in terms of, if you listen to bassy music, you're going to really like this. If you listen to EDM, and one of the chief characteristics of EDM is the peaky highs, you know, it builds up, and then it goes into a really deep bass drop, that sort of stuff. This works really, really well. It works well for pop, and it's pretty good, competent, I would say, rock and stuff like that, but not like acoustic rock. It's competent at rock, it's good at EDM, and it's pretty good at pop. I think a lot of people would have been thinking for this like all-out audiophile assault on this one. You know, like a budget clarity of the P2, sorry, the P1, and you're not going to get that. This is more of a bass-focused earphone. I don't think it's like overly prominent bass. It definitely has a sparkle on the treble and a recessed mid-range, but it's not something that is going to, you know, rival something like the TFC TFC number 3, which is like a real bass head earphone. I would buy this as an all-rounder earphone for somebody that likes EDM, likes pop, and that's the majority of the listening to. It's not too in your face and not too over the top with the bass. Like the TFC number 3 is something that I recommend as a supplementary earphone, something that you use when you really want that impactful bass slam. But most of the time you listen to quite a varied variety of genres and stuff like that. This, you're more leaning towards that middle ground. It is bass heavy, but it's not as deep sub bass, ethereal rumble type thing. I like it. I think it's a perfectly pleasant like earphone to listen to. It's good. I quite like treble, and I think this is something that a lot of people know about me, is I actually like good quality treble. That treble can sometimes be translated into being slightly too hot for some people. These have a slight treble spike and they have quite a recessed mid-range on them. The bass it has good sub-bass impact. It's not got too much of the texture and details in it, but it's got good full sounding impact on it. The mid-range, as I say, is slightly recessed and it's of average detail, maybe above average detail for the price point. But again, you've got those little outliers like the Shure Tape Pro, and the Tin Hifi P1 just sitting just above there, which I classify into really good territory. You know, Shure Tape and P1 both punch multiple times their price range. This is about their price range. Now, in terms of the competition at this price range, I talked about the TFZ number 3. Perfectly good earphone, but really bass heavy. So really here you're looking against maybe some of the new stuff from Hidsies. You're looking at a lot of the CCA, KZ earphones. In terms of build quality and stuff, this destroys both of them. I'm getting a little bit sick of those resin shells. The budget resin shells, it's just very overdone, and I always prefer solid metal. These are really well made, super comfortable, pleasant sound signature to me, punchy bass, and quite push treble, which I enjoy. But is it an all-out like, oh my god, wow, this is a must-have? No, this is a good pickup. This is like, if you want to spend $100 for something that has a good cable, excellent build quality, is comfortable and gives a, you know, quite a pleasant like listening experience, a punchy little listening experience. This is a good solid earphone for the price. Would I buy it personally? No. I'm gonna plump a little bit more, knowing that I have some like high-powered DAPs and DACs and stuff like that. I'm gonna buy the P1 every day, because I just think that's a fantastic earphone. And also, if you've got the extra $20–30, go and buy the Shure Tape. It's a little bit polarizing, the tape, in terms of the design. I prefer the design on this, but the tape sound is fantastic, really quite a special sound. I can't remember if it's electrostatic or planar that the tape is using, but it has a very detail rich sound with excellent bass and texture, and slightly more tamer treble on it, but a really detailed mid-range. So sorry if you guys were wanting this, like, you know, you've bought the pre-order and stuff like that, and you're like, oh my god. This is a really, really good earphone. This is getting hard to justify not saying good things about this just because of where we were 5 years ago. This is a very, very good earphone for the price. Is it what I would buy? No. I think a little bit more money gets you something a little bit more preferential. And actually, to be honest, out of the T lineup, I still think I like the T2 Plus the most out of it. I just think that's a fantastic earphone. And there is also an argument of it's kind of sad to see them move away from the barrel design that they were so famous for. I've been using the Nice Hex for a little while now. And there's something about it and the barrel-shaped earphones where you just put them into your ear. You know, you just sit back, put them into your ear. You don't have to go loop over the top, lift up your ear, insert. I know that's a very slight gripe, but in practice, when you're just, you know, hanging one out of one ear, when you're just casually listening to like a video or something like that, there's something nice about the barrel design, the old school design. But in terms of if you like the IEM style, and I actually do prefer the IEM style overall in my IEMs, you're probably going to be disappointed if you're a fan of the barrel, but you know, this gives a different option to different people. And good earphone, I would recommend you buy it, but there's plenty of other options there. So with that, I'm going to say, if you were thinking about buying this, you want some advice on maybe some other earphones that I have reviewed in the past, or any other ones that I don't post all the reviews of everything I get. If you want like a side-by-side comparison, just ask for it down in the comment section. I'll try and point you in the right direction. As of now, where to buy this, I know that Links will have it. I assume other places are probably going to have it. Amazon will have it soon enough. I'm assuming it's going to be a pretty popular earphone, and rightly so. But yeah, that's about it for this review. If you liked this video, I know I went on a little bit, but yeah, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. I'm sorry if you heard the construction and the protests outside, but I'm kind of working with what I got here. Thank you again very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video, which I think is going to be the Audio Excalibur and maybe some of the new Hidsies stuff. And if you haven't